indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Brown.
Present.
Commissioner Hendrick. Here. Commissioner Lovett. Present. Commissioner Melling.
Here.
Commissioner Fallon.
Here.
Commissioner Spillier.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
City Manager Gainer.
Here.
Thank you. Next up is communications. We have none. So that brings us to public comment. Residents are welcome to address the commission. Please state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anyone? Seeing no one, we will move on to approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as
Presented.
board.
Motion and support. Any additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the agenda, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Carries. Next, we move to approval of the City Commission regular meeting minutes of August 2, 2012.
Make a motion to accept the commission meeting minutes of August 2nd, 2012. Board.
Motion and support. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Next, we have the consent agenda. First, we have the departmental activity reports. We have the Marine City Area Fire Authority Run Report, the Zoning Board of Appeals minutes from March 7, 2012, the Pension Board Pension Plan minutes from April 10, 2012, Pension Board Retiree Health Care Plan, April 10, 2012 minutes. I have a motion to accept and
I
file.
make a motion that we accept the communications and place
No.
them on file. No, that we accept the consent agenda.
Support. Okay, I have a motion and support. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Carries. Number 9, unfinished business. Adopt ordinance for smoke-free beach.
I would like to make a motion to adopt the smoke-free beach ordinance.
We have a motion and support. Discussion? Anyone? Hearing none. All in favor of adopting the ordinance for the smoke-free beach, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
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 Three.
3. Motion carries. That moves us to new business, fee schedule update. Mr. Gaber.
I didn't print the whole report, I just printed the page just to save some paper. This fire marshal inspection fee is one that's coming from the fire authority. We just need to add it to the fee schedule so that we can take care of our business if any inspections are done within Marine City. So that's the only change to the report.
And it was approved last night at the fire authority.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the fee schedule update?
I'll make a motion to approve the update.
Go ahead. Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Discussion? I only have one thing. Can we spell fire marshal correctly?
Okay,
A-L?
sorry.
Sorry, grammar Nazi here.
Oh, yep.
All in favor of approving the
Approve
fee
as well.
schedule update, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We're moving quickly. Financial business. Disbursements including payroll and bond payment of $616,457.93.
Make a motion to accept the disbursements in the amount of $616,457.93.
Second.
Grayson for the support tonight. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Lovett.
Yes.
Commissioner Melling.
Yes.
Commissioner Fallon.
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Yes.
Commissioner Turner.
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have the preliminary financial statements for July of 2012.
I move that we accept the preliminary financial statements of July 2012.
Support.
We have a motion and support. all in favor of accepting the preliminary financial statements signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Next, we have the city manager's report.
A couple of brief items, Board. Marine City Chamber is spotlighting Friends of City Hall. I believe it's Monday, August 20th, between 7 and 8. Light refreshments and explanation of the work that's been done to date at City Hall. Along with that, I don't know if you've noticed, but all the orange fence is gone. We've actually picked up all the debris around the building. We finished that this afternoon. Raked out all of the holes caused by the construction to date, swept the sidewalks and what have you, so it looks pretty sharp when you drive by right now. It just looks like the building's coming back to life again. So I know the orange fence has been an eyesore for a long, long time, so I thought everybody would appreciate that being gone. We're making some changes to the way we're gonna handle ordinance violations in the future. When Brian gets back off vacation next week, he and I are gonna sit down along with Officer Hollowitz and streamline the process. It's taking too long and we're getting too many recalls. I've had this discussion with Commissioner Hendricks. She seems to get more than most of us, but I get a few and she gets some, and we're gonna figure out a way to speed the process up. And most of it deals with some blight, parking of vehicles or boats or something like that in the street, and lawn cutting is the big one right now. So we're gonna streamline that process. We won't see the huge benefit from it yet this season, but we'll get it started this season so that next year, we should be able to take care of that relatively quickly. Windows, doors, and et cetera are scheduled for early October at 300 Broadway. I don't believe that's changed, right?
It's on
So
schedule as far as I know.
We're not going to see a lot more activity until those items start coming back in, because that's when they'll bring the crews in to do the carpenter work and finish up whatever other
Painting,
things they got to do,
trim.
painting, trim,
Yeah,
all the rest of that. So it's not that we aren't doing anything, it's just they finally got the drawings straight for the windows and doors, and they're in the process.
We are doing something, we're waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting. And I'm going to be meeting with Bruce Johnston with regards to the rental rehab and targeted neighborhood. And like I said at the last meeting, the targeted neighborhood has been a struggle just because we can't find people to meet the grant requirements. So we're going to see what other strategy we can use to help that along a little bit. We're going to have a meeting, I think, at the end of next week. He's supposed to call me and confirm that. So other than that, I will entertain any questions. If not, I'm finished.
Did we do anything about that sidewalk repair on the bridge that was brought up last week?
There-
South end of the bridge?
We're gonna get to the sidewalk repairs. He's got about 5 right now that he's got bundled up, and there's just about enough to get a load of concrete in to take care of it. So we'll get them. It's just, we don't want to pay the premium price for one. So he's got a couple that are participating in the sidewalk program. Another one that a tree has caused some issues with over the years that we're taking a look at, and that one, and I believe one other one is on the book, so we're getting real close, so.
Anything else? Okay, let's move on to Commissioner privilege. Commissioner Lovett.
Good evening. As I read the police report included in our meeting packet, I was impressed with the professionality of our officers under the guidance of Chief Tillery. A small community like ours has its own department, basically because of 2 things. I think, first of all, the city government, city manager, commission, et cetera, have worked together to keep it in the budget. And secondly, the willingness of the police department and the chief to work within that budget. We have exceptional officers on board, and many of the part-timers are officers with extensive experience and background or education. These men and women have chosen to protect and serve the citizens of our community. I take exception, therefore, to the grandstanding of Mr. Terry Dawes. Do you hear me? I said. The blindsiding of the police department and the commission with an event that had taken place many times before the one Mr. Dawes decided to comment on. I take exception to the comments that people are afraid to speak out. There are 7 commissioners sitting on this board with many different backgrounds. We do not always agree on everything. Many times we do, many times we do not. We are here to serve the city of Marine City, not to make money, not for fame, but for you. I take exception that you cannot find one person, or the relative of one person, or the friend of one person on this board to bring a complaint to. You have a city manager who is also only a phone call away. You have men and women in your community, family and friends who work at City Hall and or other departments in the city, and you cannot find one to bring an issue to? Let's stop the grandstanding and work together as a community to meet the needs of those who live and work in our community. Let's stop the grandstanding and respect the role that each of us plays in the greater community. If there are concerns, and there will be, follow proper channels. Don't use commission meetings for your 5 minutes of fame.
Thank you. And John and Diana, are your hearts still pumping? Anyone else? Wow, quiet bunch tonight. I have a couple things real quick. First of all, Chief Tucker's last day is tomorrow. After 38 years is the fire chief of Marine City and of late the Marine City Fire Authority, Marine City Area Fire Authority. So we wish him and his lovely wife good luck in their retirement, and we hope that we will continue to see his wonderful face around town. He's been an asset to the community for a very, very long time, and as was pointed out earlier, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Chief. So many happy years of retirement, Dick, and we thank you very much and humbly for your service. Second thing I have is Habitat for Humanity is having an open house on Saturday morning at the house, I believe it's 140 West Boulevard, right down behind the old Quality Feed. It's a house that they remodeled for a family with three boys. And of course, they had to participate in the whole thing. They've had rentals, they've been moving for years, they've been moving around. And Habitat would like to welcome them to Marine City. I personally would like to welcome them to Marine City, and I will be there. And I would hope that we'll see a good turnout of Marine City residents to also welcome them so they can enjoy their new home. The mother, the wife, is a Marine City native, and so welcoming them back to Marine City I think is important. That's Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And I think that's all I have. So I will at this point move for adjournment. If I can get a second, it is 7:13. I think that's a new record. So we have a motion. we have a motion and support.
Do we win anything?
What we win, this is the discussion part. What we win is the fact that we didn't argue, we didn't fight, and we didn't raise taxes, and we didn't spend a whole lot of money. So I think we did pretty well.
We'll have to work harder next time.
All right. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Carries. Thank you all.